I'm joined now by Rafael Bernal. He's a staff writer with the Latino section of the Hill newspaper, which covers U.S. politics. A lot to get to here. Less than an hour ago, the U.S. president on Capitol Hill. What is your take on his meeting with his fellow lawmakers?
Well, this issue has been snowballing on the GOP for about a week now, and they expected Trump to come in and give them direction. Some lawmakers walked out of there saying they got 1,000% support, but it seems that they're still a little bit confused over what bill to support because he's supporting both GOP bills on one hand, and on the other side, he had a very wide-ranging subject of conversation during this long meeting.
Why the concern from the Republican Party? These are members of his own party. Is it because of all the pictures, the audio that's coming out, and the midterm elections just a few months away?
Well, it's the first time they've lost the narrative, the power to control the narrative since Trump has been in office. This is an issue that the Democrats are controlling. It's starting to become more of a humanitarian issue than an immigration issue. Trump is sometimes not helping them. He said that Democrats should do more to prevent an infestation of immigrants. And that angered even a lot of Republicans. He just said that this morning. So they're concerned that heading into an election, you don't want comparisons with, say, Japanese internment camps.
You're also hearing from Mexico's government, officials from the United Nations, a lot of international bodies speaking out. What's the perception?
Well, it seems the perception is that the United States has a humanitarian crisis, and the United States isn't accustomed to being the subject of this kind of international attention. It rather gives this international attention to other countries with this sort of problem. Mexico, of course, has its own humanitarian issues, but they've been more transparent over the past few years over the Central American migrants crossing through their territory. And although Mexico put a strong statement up against the United States in its current policy, it isn't so many Mexicans that are being affected by this, rather Central Americans. So it's a little bit outside of Mexico's jurisdiction in that sense.
So back in the United States, we're seeing a lot of outrage, some money being raised to help these immigrant families with their legal fees. Can we see a bipartisan deal successfully coming from Congress? I mean, where do they go from here?
A bipartisan deal is always a long way away, and with an election so close and the failures of this year, I don't see a bipartisan deal. And in fact, I see like these two Republican proposals, including the sort of conservative, sort of the right-left or center-right agreement, it's going to have a very hard time. Some smaller proposals, like there's a Senate GOP proposal to just address this issue of separation, those might have a chance, but it's not great either.
But the timetable, I mean, people are worried about these kids being left in these facilities. Can anything happen in a matter of days or weeks? Or are we talking months, years?
Well, if it has to go through the legislative process, at least it's months. But that's why Democrats think they can get Trump to backtrack. They think this is the case where he can reverse a policy that he's put in, that he's backed with a lot of political capital, and they think they can get him to do it.
All right, Rafael Bernal, we'll leave it there. We'll have to see what happens. Thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.